In this video, I'm going to show you how to expand brackets. So whenever we have a bracket and there's a number on the outside, it means that everything inside here is going to be multiplied by the 3 or the number on the outside. So the way that we're going to do this is to multiply the 3 times the x. Okay, so 3 times x gives me 3x, and then 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so that gives us 3x plus 6. Now, in the next example, it's very similar, except this time there is a 2 in front of the letter, or in front of that first term. So I'm going to use the same method, 5 times 2x. Now, I know that 5 times 2 is 10, so 5 times 2x is 10x, and then 5 times 4 is the 20. And if you draw those arrows, it will help you to remember which ones you need to multiply by. Now for the next one, we have got 3 times 4x. So similar to what we had before, 3 times 4 is 12. So 3 times 4x is 12x. And now I've got 3 times negative 2. Now for the previous examples, we didn't really need to worry too much about the symbol that was here because they were all adding. So these were all multiplying by positive numbers. But in this example, we're multiplying by a negative. Now you need to remember that when we multiply two negative numbers together, the answer will be positive. If we multiply two numbers together that have a different sign, so if we've got a minus and a plus, or if we've got a positive number and a negative number, both of those answers are going to be negative. Obviously, if we have two positive numbers, so like 3 times 2, they're both positive numbers, the answer will also be positive. So if the signs are different, then when you're multiplying, then your answer is going to be a negative number. So in this one here, I'm multiplying by negative 2. So I've got 3 times negative 2. So that gives me a negative answer. So a positive and a negative is negative. 3 times 2 is going to be 6. So we'll try it again with this next example. So I've got negative 4 times 2x. I'm just going to write it over on the side. So I've got negative 4 times 2x. So the first thing that I'm going to do is sort out my positives and negatives. So here I've got a negative number and I'm multiplying it by a positive number. So my answer has to be negative. A plus and a minus is minus. Now I'm going to sort out the numbers. 4 times 2 is 8, and I have to multiply that by x as well. So the first part of this is going to be minus 8x, and now I'm going to do minus 4 times 3. So again, just let's write it on the side. I've got minus 4 times 3. Now I can sort out the numbers first if I want to. So 4 times 3 I know is 12, and then I'm going to sort out the signs. So I've got a negative times a positive. So a minus and a plus is minus. So my final answer is going to be minus 8x minus 12. Now here's another example, a little bit more complicated, but we're using the same method every time. So minus 5 times 3x. So sorting out the numbers first, 5 times 3 is 15. So 5 times 3x is 15x. Now looking at the signs for each of these numbers, I've got minus 5 and positive 3x. So a minus and a plus is minus. So if the signs are different, the answer is negative. And now I've got this one here, which is minus 5 times minus 6. I know 5 times 6 is 30. A minus times a minus is going to be positive. So we can just write that as 30. So I'm going to add on 30 here. So that's just a recap on how to expand brackets when you have positive and negative numbers in the questions.